The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing? Shadows crawl. People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Jumping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing? Shadows crawl. People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? The greatest psychic to ever be on YouTube is here. Dolly Vision, cooking with Big Daddy. Cooking with Big Daddy. It looks like we are not going to be cooking any flaming hot cheese balls anytime soon with Big Daddy. All right? Big Daddy has done took his ass to the big house. Third person arrested. Connection to Austin Drummond. Okay. Third person arrested. Now, I don't know how many of y'all remember my very first video, and Dolly said, I'm going to make my predictions. I said, it's 3 guys, 3 black guys that are gang members was my prediction on this. Okay. And it looks like right now there's 3 people connected to him. All 3 people, African-American men with gang ties. Dolly batting 2 for 2. Damn! The greatest ever to do it is in the house. So I'm going to need a like on the like button because you are dealing with the greatest. Next to Muhammad Ali, I float like a butterfly, I sting like a bee on these YouTube streets. I am the Mike Tyson of YouTubing, okay? I pity the fool. Wait, that's Mr. T. That's Mr. T. Anyway, make sure y'all hit the like button. Leave your DNA all over it, just in case you the 4th person to go missing or go to jail, I should say. And I'll come get you out, okay? I'll call Dog the Bounty Hunter. We'll bond you out, right? Also, if you're brand new, make sure you sub up. We're like less than 300 people away from hitting 72,000 subscribers. That's crazy. I can't believe it. And, of course, ring that bell for notifications. Share my ugly face everywhere that you can with your granny, your auntie, your uncle, your cousin's best friend's mama. All that good stuff. So, like I was saying, 3rd arrest in connection with the Austin Drummond case. And if you're not familiar with that, this is the case where 4 dead bodies were found in Tennessee along a rural area off a dead end. and a baby was dropped in a yard about 20 miles away. The baby, okay, all 4 people at the scene, not with us anymore. And we've been seeing the police on a manhunt for what some people call the white boy, okay, the white boy, Austin. And he was recently released from prison on robbery and kidnapping charges, where he went up into a gas station and robbed a place for $44. Okay, he was sent to prison. He did all his time, but while he was in prison, he committed a bunch of crimes. He shanked somebody and was charged with attempted murder. So he was allowed to bond out because he hadn't been convicted of the attempted murder yet, which some people say they dropped the ball on, and this guy should have never been released. And he was. And in less than a year, he unalives 4 people. Okay. Now, Cooking with Big Daddy, you know, he did a lot of talking the other day and making cheese balls. And he said that the police have ran up in his house and they took all his devices and all these things that he said, and how he wasn't involved in none of this and he had nothing to do with it. But it appears that Big Daddy was also flying drones and dropping, let's just say, hugs into prison facilities. He was caught a year ago, right? And he was charged with possession of a class 6 substance, which is believed to be marijuana, which is illegal in the state of Tennessee. He was also charged with possession, intent to distribute, and also conspiracy to conspire to violate the U.S. Drug Act. Now, I don't know if you are familiar with this conspiracy to conspire charge, but it actually carries more time than the actual charge.
That's his current.
That these are his current charges, is conspiracy to conspire, because this man, when they popped his trunk, so he was driving in a county nearby, and he was pulled over, and he didn't instantly stop. And when he did, a passenger jumped out the vehicle and ran. Okay. The passenger got away, but in the book bag was a pound of the sticky icky. And when they popped his trunk, they found a drone, a bunch of clear mesh bags, like thin bags that you could load things into. And they found a drone. All right. So what it appears was he had altered the drone. So, you know, FCC regulates drone activity in the sky, and you have to have certain lights on your drone, especially if it weighs over 256 grams. So what he had did is he had took black tape and put it over all the lights. So when he was flying at night, you could not see the drone, and he was dropping hugs and PlayStations, right? Handheld PlayStation devices into the prison system. So Cooking with Big Daddies, right? That thought, you know, on his mama, on Jesus, on his soul, he had nothing to do with this. But it appears Jesus is going to take that soul, his mama's soul, and everybody else's soul he put on it, because he was absolutely involved in this drug ring to smuggle narcotics into the prison system. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dolly. It's just some sticky icky. It ain't that bad. The conspiracy to conspire charge carries 20 years in prison. It carries longer charges in prison than the actual drug charge itself. Now, they got these charges so when cartels and other people are smuggling these drugs, they get longer in prison. It's for stiffer prison sentences is what it is. So he's in big trouble. He's in some big trouble, and he is about to be big booty in prison. Okay. I don't know about Big Daddy, but he is about to be big booty. You are cooking with big booty, jail food, swoles with big booty in the prison system. So everybody so far that has been connected to the white boy, right, Austin Drummond, is in jail. Not looking good. And Mr. Big Daddy thought he was in the clear. But nope. This morning, his mugshot was taken. He was booked into jail, and they came after him. And I told everybody, I said, listen, they're going to come after everybody involved in this dude. They're not going to let this dude just get away with murdering 3 people and a kid. The 15-year-old is a kid. And now, listen, there's some rumors that are going around. And, you know, we talk Dolly Visions for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as a fact, people. It's just my opinion. Completely satire, right? Same thing with the callers. Their opinions are theirs alone. Everyone is innocent to proven guilty. These guys appear to be guilty. And the biggest one of them all is don't try to be Dolly at home. It is dangerous. Your head could explode. Okay.
Technically, they're not saying this guy is related to the others, but he's a childhood friend of Austin's.
And he's delivering hugs to the penitentiary just like they are.
Right.
So he's connected. They're just not charging him with the accessory to, because he was at home. They're not charging him with accessory after the fact, but he's definitely involved with these other individuals in bringing hugs into the penitentiary system via drone, okay, and blacking out the drone. And, you know, people are rumoring that the 15-year-old may have ripped somebody off. Now, that's just rumors right now. We don't know anything like that. We don't want to do any victim blaming or anything like that. Right now, it don't matter if you did do that. It's still no reason to kill someone and their whole family. So I have a hard time believing that. But, you know, these people that are committing these crimes like this, especially these horrible, violent crimes and pushing drugs into the prison system and into the streets, we got to get these people off the street. And so far, the TBI, FBI, flying drones with Big Daddy. Yeah, flying drones with Big Daddy. That's what that PlayStation does, right? When you be playing play, you think you're a pilot all of a sudden. And he would have to be the dumbest drone pilot ever in the history of people to fly drones. Okay. I don't think this guy could spell drone, most likely fly one. All right. And, but he knew how to alter one. He knew how to cover up the lights and all these things so that the people, the guards couldn't see these. So I'm thinking Big Daddy is about to do a good big 10 years. And I'm thinking all these dudes are probably going to do about the same. The people that helped Austin get away, you know, because they're charged with conspiracy, not conspiracy, but accessory to first degree murder after the fact. So they didn't help him beforehand, but they helped him after. If they helped him before, they'd be charged with accessory to first degree murder. But now they're just charged with accessory to first degree murder after the fact, which ain't as bad. It's not as bad as you helped them, but they did assist in possibly helping him get away or cleaning vehicles or wiping fingerprints, because the first guy, what was Tanaka? Mm-hmm. Tanaka was charged with tampering with evidence. And then the second guy, which would have been Giovanni Thomas, he's just charged with accessory after the fact. And now we got cooking with Big Daddy. What is Big Daddy's name?
Brandon Powell.
Brandon Powell. Okay. Brandon Powell's charges are unrelated to this, but directly connected to this. If that makes sense to you. He's not charged with what happened to the people, but he's charged in connection with the rest of them. And, you know, there's only so many people you have to get involved before it's a RICO charge, a federal charge, because they're getting closer and closer to a RICO act. I think it's 3 and up, or it might be 5. I think it's 3 and up.
Yes, that's the guy that did the live that we listened to.
Yeah,
today.
he is the guy that did the live. I can't remember if it's 3 and up or if it's 5 and up. And then everybody else, to convict them, all you have to do is connect them to the 3 people. The RICO Act is what they use to shut down the mob. They use it for organized crime and drug rings. And it's the same thing that the rapper with the rainbow hair.
For you said, man, you're the only one that says a third guy's been arrested. I got to see it on national TV before I believe this. Here, let me send you this mugshot.
Okay, well, you want to see it on national TV? Let's show you his mugshot. Okay, we'll show you that Dolly is always right. I don't come up here and bring bad information. I ain't fake news. Okay, I am the greatest to ever do it. Okay,
I think I accidentally said it twice. Sorry.
God can only pick one, and he said, Dolly, I'm going to bless you with these abilities. And I want you to go out there.
I mean, they're not saying in the news that it's officially connected, but it's a childhood friend of his.
This is Big Daddy. You know what they were doing. They were out there.
And I can read that article of what happened the time that he got arrested.
Okay, we'll do that. Let me bring this over here and show these people so they know Dolly is absolutely the greatest to ever do it, that ever was, will ever will be. Okay. Let's share Mr. Big Daddy's old mugshot here. Bam. Arrested this morning. Okay. Right there. Scheduled 6 drug violations. Right down here. Conspiracy to commit. Conspiracy to conspire to violate the U.S. Drug Act is what the charge is. Now, they do this to shut down drug organizations. And listen, I'm not thinking, let me save this so I can blow his picture up for you, that there may be some federal RICO charges that come in on this. All right. Maybe. I'm not positive of that, but it's looking that way because all these people are part of organized crime. Let's blow this up for you just in case you can't see it. I don't want you to think Dolly's lying to you. The greatest of all time be lying. There's your buddy, Brandon Powell, a.k.a. Cooking with Big Daddy. All right. 8/2/9:48 p.m. So shortly yesterday afternoon, after he made his little live and talked about the cops shaking him down, and I swear on your mama,
Mom's got jokes.
I swear on my soul, I swear on Jesus, I swear on the drugs I was pushing into the prison. Bam, his ass goes to jail. Okay. And you know he has no bond, right? There's your boy Big Daddy, Mr. Flaming Cheeto Ball cooking ass right there, Mr. Don't Own a Frying Pan.
They're getting his contacts off the street, yeah.
RICO case requires at least 2 individuals or entities to be involved in a pattern of racketeering activity. Okay, but where you have this type of stuff, you would have racketeering too. These people are involved in all types of crimes. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying there's a possibility because this is a drug ring we're dealing with. Okay, and this is what they use to bring down these drug rings, these types of charges.
Don't be tripping, y'all.
Don't be tripping. Like the white boy said, don't be tripping. Don't be upset, right? He said that was
357 likes.
He said that was the hardest white boy he ever met. Okay, that was the hardest white boy he ever met. Cooking swoles with Big Daddy is what we're doing today. You be tripping? What are you laughing about over there, producer?
Because Matt said you were the most humble YouTuber on the planet.
I am clearly the most humble. Now, I wouldn't boast and brag about me being the greatest ever. I wouldn't even say nothing. But, you know, after 2 in a row, after just 2 flat out 2 cases in a row of the greatness, I mean, I had to let somebody know. So when y'all say, who is the greatest psychic ever on YouTube? You go, well, man, nobody bats higher than Dolly. You remember when it was a competition between me and Donna, Rever, Serafina? Now y'all know I am the greatest. Never doubt me, okay? I don't want to hear anybody ever doubt me ever again on these YouTube streets, okay? I call the numbers. I call it like it is. I told y'all that little ginger with no soul was the park killer. And now I told y'all that 3 people would be arrested. They'd be gang related. I'm the greatest. Okay. All right. There was a few greats. There was Muhammad Ali. Then there was Dolly Ali. I might go with Dolly Ali. I'm not quite sure. Or Dalai Lama. I could go with the Dalai Lama, the greatest to ever do it, ever been, ever will be. Okay.
Yeah, all of these people being arrested.
Anything with EST on the end.
Located in Jackson.
All right. The greatest. Dolly the guy. Y'all call me Fatty Dolly the Great God. Y'all call me, what was his name? Fatty the Fox?
Thank you, Helena.
Fatty the Fox, the
No,
God.
Fat Fox, the God.
Oh, Fat Fox the God. Okay. Now y'all can just call me Fat Dolly the God. Okay. Because I am getting a little chubby over here, right? And but you know, it's just another case where I ain't trying to brag or boast or anything, but I told y'all so. I hate to say it. I don't really hate to say it. I told you. Okay, PJ, take over so I'll stop bragging and telling people I'm the
Do you
greatest.
want to pull it up so they can read along? Or
No, they'll believe you at this point. They
Okay.
believe Dolly's the greatest. I wouldn't lie to you.
Okay, so this is on WBBJTV.com. And it is an article from March 28th, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
WTDTF director comments on Bell's bust. 1 suspect at large. Crockett County, Tennessee, Wednesday night, a Bell's patrol officer conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle heading westbound on Highway 412. Director of the West Tennessee Drug Task Force, Johnny Carter, stated that upon the traffic stop, 1 person got out and ran away on foot, while the driver pulled off, but eventually came to a stop. There was still the driver still in the vehicle. The Bell's police officer stayed with the vehicle, detained the driver, called for additional backup units to arrive. He also called us and asked us the Drug Task Force assistance, said Carter. Brandon Powell was taken into custody. Carter stated that they came to help track the other suspect who ran away. During the tracking process, we discovered the backpack that he fled with. It had 1 pound of vacuum-sealed Mary J. in the backpack, said Carter, but he stated that the car had even more. What was found in there was a drone, 4 mesh-like laundry bags, I guess you could call them, several cell phones with charger cords, a Sony PSP game console, multiple F pills that were disguised like Dirty 30, said Carter. They describe what those Dirty 30s are. I'm not going to read them. They're another type of medication. These pills are created using the big F. The big F. Carter stated that the evidence concluded that the drone was equipped to drop the mesh laundry bag with the Mary J into the Northwest Correctional Facility in Lake County. He says, typically, you would see the light that is found on most drone devices, but the drone was tampered with. They had placed electrical tape over the lighting on the drone so it would not shine. You wouldn't be able to see it, said Carter. Authorities are still searching for the other suspect who ran from the scene. We have 1 in custody at the time. The other 1 is still at large. We do anticipate being able to draw up warrants for the 1 that's still at large, said Carter. Powell is being held currently at the Fox County Jail. Fat Fox. Mm-hmm. Powell. Yes.
Brandon Powell, aka Fat Fox, the God.
Also, the most recent update on the news on this case, where we're looking for Austin Drummond, is that the U.S. Marshals increased reward to $10,000 for information that leads to the arrest of the quadruple murder suspect.
So now it's 25,000.
Yep.
Is that our food?
Possibly. I got 2 sets coming, so one might be the drink. I just got you water, but the other one, I had to answer a call. They didn't have the 2 pizzas. They had only one.
Okay.
So I had to substitute it. Let me go look.
Okay. So yes, this is Fatty Fox. Now you see that he is involved with the same type of crimes that his buddy Austin is, aka what he calls the hardest white boy ever that he's met, and he didn't want his buddy in jail, right? He didn't want people going after him trying to collect a reward, because other gang members out there said they getting that money, right? That they'll go get them. And this is, other gang members. And he was saying, well, if you do that, you're a rat, you're a snitch. You would sing on people if you're willing to turn him in. And he showed no sympathy or nothing for the 4 people that was brutally murdered.
Okay, and the total reward is actually $17,500.
17,500 is reward. So the money keeps going up for Austin. Now, here's the thing: is he still in that part of Tennessee? Because we learned just the other day when they rolled up on the white Audi that he was there and he ran on foot. And so that put him on foot in Jackson. Then we got reports that a Yukon was stolen. This morning, we got reports, this is breaking, that the Yukon has been found. Okay, so if he was in the Yukon, he's no longer in the white Yukon with Indiana plates. Now,
they haven't connected those two.
I'm saying that there's no connection, right? We don't know for a fact that he had anything to do with the theft of that vehicle. And we don't know what his friends that may have helped him after the fact, where they took him. Did he run? But these people were arrested prior to this, so they couldn't have helped him run. Yeah, so did he reach out?
Here.
Yes. Delete their comment.
I did, but there's been supposed sightings of him everywhere. There's not confirmed sightings, so I understand the guy in the bush possibly might have said whatever about Missouri. They never confirmed that was him. Yes.
And yes, definitely don't come in here, mention it interrupts. You know what I'm saying? And we don't like to have to delete your comments or anything like that. So if we're talking a case, stick with what we're talking about here, not what other channels are talking about. Helena, I understand, but it sidetracks everything. Helena, thank you so much for your super stickers. Awesome. Okay. Now PJ got to feed me for sure.
Yeah, they aren't confirmed sightings. They even stayed on Facebook. Yeah, none of them. The dress sighting was never confirmed.
Yeah,
with
him in
Missouri was never confirmed. So right now there's just a bunch of people saying they possibly might have seen him, and then us repeating it. It's not helpful.
Mine's pulling up. We know he has connections to Florida, okay, because that's where he was busted before. All right, this last time he fled after he robbed a store, they called him in Florida. Somebody turned him in. We know he has connections to Rhode Island. That's where he's from. Boston, those areas. But it goes to the fact is, usually people stay where they're most familiar with, where they know the area and know where to hide. Is he trying to get out of Tennessee? Most likely he is. Okay. And slowly they're knocking off all the help that he has, all the people that he can run to or turn to or in jail. I wouldn't be surprised if more people go to jail, but I think this is his main group of people that were involved in distributing these things to the prison system. And this is going to be the reason why this family most likely has lost their life, because they're involved with idiots like this. The last three people we've seen don't look like the brightest people in the world. And listen, smart people don't get into gangs and this type of stuff. I mean, there may be a few of them out there, but most likely, Rose, thank you for gifting those 5 memberships. And if you got a membership from Rose, make sure you thank her. So, yeah, smart people don't join gangs. There's consequences, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't add charges to Fatty Fox to God. There may be some federal charges come because anything you do at a prison, you're federally charged. Like if you putting drugs in there, and that's what violates the U.S. Drug Act. So they're in some big trouble. They're going to prison. And right now, Fatty Fox is probably squealing like a pig. Okay. He's squealing. He's telling everything he needs to tell. He's the one that said, thank you so much, Elena. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Look, and if you're just tuning in, there's 700 of you here. I want you to do me a quick favor because nobody else is bringing you this news. All right. Dolly is. I need you guys to like that video for me. And then once you like it, and don't cheat, I'm looking at you. All you got, it's free. It don't even cost you nothing. Right? Just a second of your time, and I'll shut up about it. And once you like the video, I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching from. I want to see how many of our Tennessee people we have here with us today that's following this case with us. Okay. Dolly Serafina is the greatest, the best, just the best psychic. I'm thinking about starting a 1-900 psychic hotline. I don't know. California, 469. We ain't even got 500 likes. That is crazy. All right. I'm about to rage quit and eat food. I can smell it.
No, you can't.
I can. I'm hungry. I woke up hungry. Dolly got to eat. Right? Dolly got to eat. Memphis, Tennessee's in the house. East Tennessee. Dolly action figure. That would be good. All right. Mississippi. Southern Illinois. Oregon. California. Nevada. Aaron, Tennessee. Central New York. Indianapolis. More East Tennessee. Good to see all my Tennessee people today. I knew there would be a lot of you guys in here. Now, how long will it take to catch Austin? I believe he will not make it a week. What is that?
They're all different.
Okay, what's in them?
There's a pepperoni, there's a Philly steak, there's a barbecue, and there's a what's the last one? Chicken enchilada.
Give me a Philly steak one.
I can't tell what, and I think
They're written on the bag. Ooh, I see food. Virginia's in the house. More Tennessee. Do you think Austin is still alive, Dolly? Yes. Yes. Do I think he's going to go to prison? I don't know. I don't know if this guy is going to go back to prison because he's facing the death penalty and he's going to be on death row. He ain't going to have it as easy. And the people that were dropping his drugs and PlayStations and stuff like that, they're in jail too. So, ooh, why is it cold?
Because it needs to be warmed up. I just told you that.
Oh,
Give it back.
that needs 30 seconds in the
I know
microwave.
that.
Kentucky's in the house. Happy Sunday, everyone. And what are those things called?
This is from the Kolache factory.
The Kolache factory. So they take these really soft rolls, guys, and then they stuff them with like Philly cheesesteak, barbecue chicken enchilada, all kinds of different things, and they put them in
pizza, brisket.
Yeah, they put them in these really soft, like fresh rolls. That
They're good.
they're good.
Get cold.
Okay. More Tennessee. Okay, so what did we learn today? 3 people at least involved. All right, in the drug ring. Okay, 2 people at least involved in covering up what Austin did. All right. All three of these people are in jail. The only one that ain't in jail is their buddy, the white boy. Okay. The white boy that got everybody hemmed up. I bet they wish they didn't associate with him. And he's brought a lot of heat on these gang members, right? Because you can believe the police ain't stopping now. And they're going to, the one person that I think is involved that seems to be getting away with a lot of this is, I believe, and this is just my opinion, is Caitlyn.
We don't know that yet.
Right?
She could be participating in getting this caught up.
I think she has something to do with this. She knows all these people. She's sleeping with that man. She knows that he is doing the type of activities that he is. Neither one of these people have a jobs, but yet they're taking vacations. They're driving nice cars. I mean, that's a clear indication of hug dealing. Okay. That's a clear indication of hug dealing. And to sit around and act like she don't know or she ain't been around this man. He's only been out of jail less than a year, and she's at least 4 months pregnant, allegedly. Okay. So it ain't like if she has been away from this man, she hasn't been away from him very long. And I don't know. She threw away her life messing with this man, right? She had a good job as a correctional officer, and now nothing, because she chose to sleep with a man inside the prison system, which got her in trouble. And then once he got out, she fled with him, ran off with him with the kid, and put her family in this dangerous situation around such a dangerous person. So I'm surprised they haven't charged her with some type of, I don't know, accessory. It would have to be some type of accessory to this, because she knew about this, and she may be the one talking, right? She may be the one talking, and this is how they know so much. We don't know, right? But somebody is talking, because, you know, they've knocked off 3 people pretty fast. And within a week, 3 people are sitting in jail. Somebody's saying something. Somebody said women shouldn't be in corrections. Well, they should, but they should be over other women. Women shouldn't be around men in jail. Okay. And I don't think that's good. But I think there's a shortage of correctional officers. So this is why things like this have been happening, and it's been happening a lot. So we need to do something definitely about that. Helena, thank you, Helena. Good Lord. You've done a lot today. Okay. You good, Helena. Thank you so much. Yes, women with women and men with men, right? It would make the most sense. Like, usually you can't have a man police officer search a woman. They can do a quick pat down, like they got to turn their hands backwards and they'll rub it like down you. They can do that to women. But far as a full-fledged search of a woman, you got to have another woman do that, you know. And you got women living in these prison cells, walking around in the cells naked and doing crazy things, right? And it ain't a place for men to be, just to be honest. Like in the jail here where I'm at, they have women that oversee the women, and they have men that oversee the men. Now, you will see a woman walk through the cell every now and then, because the lady here that runs the jail is a woman, right? She's the main person underneath the sheriff, is a woman, and she patrols the jail. So she'll walk through all the pods and blocks, you know. And then far as the woman pod, there's usually only time men go into the woman pod is to break up a fight. If women start fighting, which they fight a lot. Okay. They fight in the jail more than men. Women are nuts when they get to jail. And so men will go in there and break up the fights. So I was in a trustee pod in the city jail, and it sat right next to the women's pod. So there was this big metal door that separated trustee from the female pod. So every time a woman would act crazy, you would see the men run into this metal. They pop this metal door and they would run into it, but they had to run past my bunk to get in to break up fights of women fighting. And you would think there's a lot of violence between men, but believe it or not, there is some fights, but it's very far and in between. Women fight almost every night. Okay, I be sleeping and there might be 10 dudes go busting through that door, wake me up in the middle of the night. And next thing you know, they're dragging some woman out. She's spitting, trying to bite people, kick people, acting crazy. What are these? Are these Phillies?
2 of them, Mom.
What's the other one?
Chicken enchilada.
I ain't a big chicken enchilada fan.
Well, you'll figure it out. I can't tell what's what. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, and like I said, they'd be kicking and screaming and spitting and acting a fool. And every now and then, you know, you would have to go in there. They got a place they called a landing, and the floors would have to be buffed or mopped or something like that. And there was me and a guy that used to do that in the jail. And when you would go in there, there'd be women in the pods because they see guys and they'll start taking their clothes off. Like they'll get butt ass naked in the cells. So women are crazy, especially when they're locked up. And here's the thing. A lot of women is what they call, I ain't gonna say the word. I'll just say funny for the stay, but the word starts with a big G, right? Funny for the stay. That means they in relationships with other women when they get there. They come in straight, and then all of a sudden they shave their head, and then they're dating other women in the jail, and that's what creates all the fights. See, guys ain't doing that. Guys ain't usually dating each other in the jail, but these women are, and that leads to jealousy and fights and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I don't know why I got on that path.
I really
I
can't leave you alone for 2 seconds.
I went squirrel completely. But Fatty Boy here, Fatty Fox, the God, locked up, third person involved in this, okay? Not directly, but he's definitely involved in the dropping of illegal substances into the prison yard. So he is a wrap for him. His YouTube days are over, and maybe he can make some cheese balls in there if they don't charge him with trying to burn down the prison or the jail that he's in. Not good. Not good. So I'm thinking they're going to catch this dude. His friends are pretty stupid. His friends are super stupid. I mean, at a new level of stupid. So I'm not thinking he's much brighter. When he robbed the store, he looked at the clerk and said, "Y'all be tripping." That shows you his IQ level right there. So I believe they're all going to be hit with the razzle dazzle. No more cooking with Fat Daddy. Definitely not. Okay. Helena. Thank you, Helena. I done said thank you, Helena, 37 times in this video. Okay. This video is brought to you by Helena. Thank you for sponsoring our video today, Helena. That is super great of you. And everybody else, all y'all got to do is like the video. Helena took care of everything else. Okay. You can't fix stupid. You're absolutely right. So we don't know if the Yukon, if he had anything to do with the Yukon.
Here, you can play Core TV so you can eat one of those. Look,
do they have a video on it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's pull that up.
Abandoned and 4 found dead in Tennessee is what it's called.
Okay. Let's pull that up real fast. That'll give me a second to chew on one of these.
An unfolding mystery in Tennessee.
My buddy Vinny.
An unidentified infant is found abandoned on a stranger's property. Then, in another county, the bodies of 4 people are recovered. Is there a connection? Is there a killer on the loose? Tonight, all the latest from this breaking story out of Tennessee.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And I remember growing up, and I don't know how many times I saw it on TV shows, cartoons, and other places, and in just stories about the the old baby found on a doorstep, right? Someone opens their door and there's a baby there. Oh my goodness, where did this baby come from? And growing up, I never really thought that much about it. I was like, do people actually do that? Like, why would someone do that? Well, guess what happened in Tennessee? A real baby was left at a stranger's home. A beautiful little baby. Now, at first you think about this story and the baby was unidentified and you think about it like, wow, that's horrible. That's horrific. But then I take a step back and I'm like, a lot of times when we're dealing with perhaps.
Okay, Helena has won the lottery. She says, this is for PJ. Thank you, Helena. You're absolutely awesome.
That's my friend.
Yeah, that's your buddy. And this is a beautiful baby. Thank God nothing happened to this baby. That's the only good part of this story, is this baby was left alive and was dropped at some good people's house that noticed the baby out there and did what he had to do. Okay, Vinny has his pink I support Karen Reed tie on.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. But yeah, Vinny's on top of it. It's good to see Court TV, Nancy, everybody covering this case, bringing some justice to this little girl and her family.
It's a young parent who doesn't want to be a parent and has a baby. We've covered that story so many times. So it's not that story. So I'm like, okay, maybe there is some silver lining to this story involving an unidentified baby. We just have to find out who this baby is, who this baby belongs to, and try to figure out why the baby was left at this stranger's home. So while that mystery is going on in Tennessee, there's another mystery unfolding in another county pretty close by, a horrific death scene. 4 people dead. And you've got one case here, another case there, both mysteries, both extremely serious, and everyone's wondering, is there a connection? Is there a connection between this unidentified baby and these 4 bodies that were found? And tonight it's looking like there is a connection. Let's bring in Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas.
All right, we got 2,000 people in the room, and we only got 800 likes.
Your plate. Forget this.
She's gonna take my food, guys. Listen, I don't get fed unless I get likes. Cooking with Big Daddy, right?
With Big Daddy.
So I'm gonna need you guys to take a second, like the video, at least get it to over 1,000, and then I won't say anything else.
There's 1,900 in the room,
and we're bringing you everything in this case that's breaking live in real time. So just take a second and hit the like button for me. That's all we ever asked of anybody. We don't never ask you to donate or do any of that. But thank you to the people that do. But all we ever ask is just please hit the like button for us so more people see the channel. Okay. Thank you guys.
Joining us in studio, this story, everyone is talking about it tonight, Cody. So let's get, what is the latest that we know? And is there a definitive connection between this baby that is left and these 4 bodies that were recovered?
Well, Vinny, the short answer is yes, that there is a connection, but I'll walk you through how we got there. So this is a multi-agency investigation that happened all yesterday, Tuesday of this week, in Lake County in Dyer County, Tennessee. That's all in northwestern Tennessee. This 7-month-old baby, just 7 months, not even a year old yet, Vinny. Her name was Weslyn. She was abandoned and just dropped off in a random stranger's yard just after 3 p.m. in broad open daylight. And of course, that guy called 911, which got the investigation going. Now, this all happened where she was dropped off in Tigrit, Tennessee. That's in Dyer County. We have a map here showing you, that's the map of Tennessee here. Tigrit in Dyer County was only about 40 miles away from where those other 4 bodies were found up in Tiptonville, Tennessee. That's in Lake County. They're neighboring counties not too far away, 30, 40 miles away, only about a 40-minute drive. Now, Vinny, let me walk you through the timeline of the events that happened yesterday that led to this baby getting found and those 4 bodies being discovered. So as I had just mentioned, just after 3 p.m., the baby was found in a stranger's yard. Little Weslyn, and 911 was called. 5:10 p.m., The Dyer County Sheriff's Office releases a statement saying they're looking for 3 people, a man by the name of Matthew Wilson, a woman named Adrianna Williams, and another woman named Cortney Rose. Now, just before midnight, Benny, Dyer County Sheriff's Office releases another statement saying 4 bodies were found further north in Lake County. And Benny, to confirm that connection, the District Attorney Danny Goodman Jr., he serves in both Dyer and Lake County. He confirmed that these were all family members related to the baby. So, and 3 of those 4 bodies that were found were the 3 names that I had just mentioned. We have Matthew Wilson, 21 years old. That is the father of the baby. Adrianna Williams, 20 years old. That is the mother of the baby. Cortney Rose, 38, the maternal grandmother, and Braydon Williams, 15, the maternal uncle. And Vinny, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation confirmed that this is a homicide investigation. And there is also an active GoFundMe page created by what seems to be a friend of Matthew Wilson, the baby's father, where general donations are being given, to go along with funeral costs and what have you, dealing with this horrendous tragedy here.
Absolutely. And the baby's alive, and everyone's trying to put the pieces together. Why was the baby spared? What is the connection to what happened here? Why was the baby left where the baby was left? Cody, thanks so much. Let's bring in another guest.
And of course, we have been sharing that GoFundMe.
I just shared it also.
We also just shared it. And how close are we getting to their goal?
I think they might have gotten it. No, hold on.
Because they were raising $4,500. We've been donating to it, and we also sent their daughter something for her birthday yesterday. It was their daughter. She goes by Chu. And
It says they're at 2822.
2822. So they're over halfway there.
And the goal now is 8,000. But the ones that they just showed on Court TV, they might be, but it's had the same organizer.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I need to look.
Okay. Well, if you want to donate, we just posted the link. This is this GoFundMe is set up through Matthew's father, and Matthew's father, they just put out the obituaries for Matthew, and
Caitlin is not missing.
Caitlin is not missing.
They're not going to tell us what her involvement
And she
is
hasn't been saying anything
publicly.
And she deleted all her social media accounts.
Yes, joining me now is an anchor for KFVS. Jeffrey Bullard is with us. Jeffrey, thank you so much for joining us. What can you tell us about the scene where these 4 victims were found?
So thank you very much for having me. First off, I also want to mention where we were at. It was Carrington Road, which is just 2 minutes, a 2-minute drive to the nearby correctional facility. This Carrington Road, it was almost like a cul-de-sac, but it was so wooded you couldn't see from our drone just where the police were going. You could tell that it was in the woods, but you couldn't exactly tell where exactly those officers were. We were told on scene that it was a fairly large crime scene that they were investigating. Fast forward to around 4:30, we're getting ready to go live for our 5 o'clock live shot. And all of a sudden you see 2 Department of Transportation wreckers pull out a black Dodge Charger and a white SUV from what appeared to be the crime scene. So they couldn't comment on if those vehicles were exactly related. We do know it was pulled from the area of the crime scene in that nearby wooded area. But there are so many unknowns about the situation that I think really intrigues people because, it's our job to report fact and not speculate on, these people's lives. This is very real for them. We spoke to...
Absolutely. And for anybody just tuning in, Fatty Fox to God, which was the picture of Austin you seen with his friend when he was first released to prison. He was arrested last night. He is the 3rd person to be arrested with connections to Austin Drummond. Okay. He's arrested on unrelated charges. Okay. Where he was using a drone to fly in narcotics into a correctional facility. Narcotics, phones, PlayStations, these type of things. Some of these prisoners are living better than we are, and these are the people helping get this stuff into the prisons. So bad people doing bad things. Now Cooking with Big Daddy from the video we watched yesterday. If y'all have tuned in daily, he actually has a YouTube channel. He was cooking flaming hot Cheeto balls, and now he finds himself in jail today for possession of a controlled 6 substance and conspiracy to conspire to violate the U.S. Drug Act.
Several neighbors who are just absolutely just, it's so shocking. You don't think something like that happens in your backyard, you know?
Absolutely. So do we know any details about how the victims died, and is this an active search for a killer tonight?
So the person in charge of the TV.
Somebody says, where's that on the news, Dolly? Right here. Dolly News. What do you think? I'm lying to you? Why do so many people not want to believe me when I tell them something? I don't come up here and just make things up. We're not a fake news channel. Dolly, so 3 people have been arrested. Yes. And you know, my prediction was 3 people, gang ties, would be arrested. So far, I am batting 100 on this. What did you post?
I posted his rap sheet on my freaking.
We were just showing his mug shot. So this is for people that are just tuning in. If you don't know, Fatty Fox to God, which is one of his BFFs that were with him since he got released from prison.
He's a childhood friend, actually.
He's a childhood friend. He is the 3rd person arrested. Now, it's on charges unrelated to the murder of the 4 people, but in direct connection because he's charged with flying drugs into a correctional facility. And this is what
last charge in 24.
This is what they're alleging, and now he's in jail. Not a good look. Not a good look. He's in a world of trouble. All right.
Yeah, at least the communications person that we spoke to, they were telling us that
you know, I have a PI that lives with me. Okay.
we're still looking for, and they very intentionally said suspect or suspects. Somebody's out there still, long story short, from what we're being told at the moment.
And have they said anything about little baby Wesleyan, about why they believe she was spared, or how the timeline of when the baby was left and when the victims were killed?
She's so cute.
Yeah, she is.
I know it's very, you have so many questions, and we had so many questions whenever we were at the press conference, just trying to get a better understanding. They were basically telling us it's still under investigation. They weren't too clear with any answers as well. Back to your other questions that I accidentally skipped forward, the cause of death is still under investigation as well. So it's not entirely clear what everybody was doing out in this wooded area, because whenever, like I mentioned earlier, that cul-de-sac, it goes into a bike trail that goes on near Reelfoot Creek. And so there's not a lot out there. It's mostly wood. So it makes you certainly wonder why they were out there. That's still an unknown. There's a lot of unknowns right now.
Absolutely. And we're looking at the video. Thank you so much. As we look at the video, and we can see it's very rural, I assume, right? It's consistent with what we're seeing here. So there wouldn't necessarily be surveillance.
Okay, all three people. The first person is Tanaka. What was Tanaka's last name? Do you remember?
Brown.
Tanaka Brown. The second person was Giovanni Thomas. And this one is Brandon Powell. Them are the three people that have been arrested. Okay. So you have Tanaka Brown, Giovanni Thompson, and Brandon Powell.
Right. Last night we were listening to Brandon Powell rant about how they had him hemmed up and they were ransacking his stuff and he got nothing to do with it, on his mama, on God, whatever else he said.
On his cousin's best friend's baby sister.
And then first off, he started the video smoking something he wasn't allowed to smoke in the state he's in. And so, I mean, I'm sure he got hemmed up right after that.
Yeah, shortly after that, he posted that video yesterday afternoon, and by yesterday evening, he was back in jail. Okay, so they had all his devices, and I guess they're trying to lock him up for anything they can because
they're gonna hold him in until he sings.
Yeah, they're gonna hold these people until they talk.
But he told us all he ain't gonna sing for 15,000.
He ain't gonna sing for. He's gonna sing for his freedom, though.
I bet he is.
Anybody that'll get up there and sit there and say, "Well, you'll be the one talking. You'll do this. You'll snitch." Usually, the ones that are screaming that are the ones that are talking. And he looks like a talker. Okay, he's probably telling right now as we speak on people. And I wouldn't be surprised if more people go to jail.
They can hold him on that conspiracy until he decides he's going to talk. That's why they did that.
Yeah, they hit him with that conspiracy charge.
Like a fishing expedition.
Yeah, do they really want him? Probably not. But are they going to?
He's involved in the whole gang.
Yeah, he's involved in it. He might not be directly involved in the murders, but he's involved in the reason these murders took place.
Surveillance cameras anywhere. A lot of the cases we cover here at Court TV, there's ring cameras, there's surveillance cameras, there's traffic cameras. Describe the area for us and your thoughts about the opportunity for there to be any sort of video that could be useful here.
He wishes he hadn't gone live. I know.
That's a really great point that you make up. Whenever we were telling neighbors about just kind of what was going on, because some of them were looking outside, seeing all these police cars, wanting to know what was going on. They didn't have camera footage. The closest nearby camera footage that there might be would be at the nearby correctional facility. But this is really, I mean, when you look at this as a person, it scares you. I mean, you go out there and you think, okay, there's no cameras around. It makes you wonder why there wasn't cameras there,
Absolutely. And final question, I know you have to go. Jeffrey, you mentioned it's near a correctional facility. There's no indication, because a lot of people are thinking, did someone escape from the correctional facility?
Okay, good question. Do we know who rented the Nissan Rogue? We're not positive on the rental of the Nissan Rogue, but we believe the Nissan Rogue. Now, this is just our opinion. We have no proof of this. Now, I'll let y'all know when we're speculating or when we got facts. We believe that the Nissan Rogue was rented by Austin and Caitlin when they went on their vacation just like 6 days prior to this incident. So that is what is believed. Now, is that fact? We don't know. Okay. We're speculating on that. There's a lot of rumors going around because they went on vacation 6 days before that. And if you look at some of the pictures, it appears that the Nissan Rogue is in the background of some of those pictures. It was a rented car. We know that for a fact. It's a rental. All right. Because we do have contacts with the family. We have been talking to Matthew's father and other people. So we know for a fact that it is a rental car. We know for a fact that the truck that Matthew was driving absolutely had bullet holes in the windshield, multiple bullet holes.
Sacred wanted to know how we knew about the third arrest, and so I wanted to make sure, because a lot of people get upset when you don't say where you get things or where. I've been following the groups on this story since it came out almost obsessively, and somebody shared, and all I saw was a comment under a comment with like a mobile patrol screenshot, and I instantly knew it was him. Plus, yesterday when we watched and listened to what he had to say and who he was and how he was childhood friends with Austin, I had an inkling it was coming anyway, but I instantly saw the mugshots from the mobile patrol screenshot and just connected the two and just went into looking. So that's how we figured out. Well, I saw it first.
Yes.
In a group.
Well, we try to stay on top of things when we cover a story, no matter what story it is. We usually only cover one story at a time so we can keep up with every single thing that happens in that story from start to finish. So usually we don't jump around on stories either. And we were in the middle of, well, not in the middle, but near, 3 months into the Jack and Lily Sullivan case that was going out of Nova Scotia when this story broke. And then instantly when we seen the baby, we was like, they need justice. And we started talking about this case. So we've been following it from the very beginning, and we're going to follow it to the very end. Okay. So anything that goes on, if there is something found, if somebody's been arrested, somebody rumors something, there's a site, and trust me, we're going to bring it to you here. Okay. So if you're out there watching and you're like, well, how do y'all know shit before anybody else? Because we're on top of it 24/7.
I've spoken with Matthew's daddy a couple
Yeah.
times. I don't want to be too intrusive, so I haven't really asked him like real hardcore questions, and some of the stuff that he's kind of answered, I don't really want to be like, oh, Matthew's daddy told me this, you know?
Yeah,
it's not a gossip festival that we're doing.
We keep some things private. We know more than what we're saying, but some things we've told we won't say until we don't want to hinder the investigation. We don't want to say nothing that could help this person get away or know what they're looking at or what is what. We can only give you what we can give you, and at certain times.
Someone
right?
says, how do they know who the baby belonged to? The baby's picture was posted up to the social media platforms almost instantly after the baby was found. And simultaneously, the baby's parents and several other family members were missing. Well, 4 total people were missing from that household. So it was instantly connected that this was the baby that was missing because the family was missing. And the family members of that family were looking to see if they found things on social media and then instantly seeing that the baby was found. And that's how it was connected.
Okay, thank you, Helena.
Thank you, Helena.
And somebody asked, how was the truck found? I'll give you this answer. Someone is allegedly talking.
Singing.
Someone is singing. Now,
Big Daddy.
who that person is that's singing, we don't know. We know the truck was found by somebody, a little birdie tipped the police off. Who that little birdie is, we don't know, guys. But somebody knew these locations, all right, because they've been doing this for quite some time. And somebody tipped the police off to where the truck is. We can tell you that. Somebody tipped the police off. Somebody is a little bird. Okay, somebody is a little bird. Exactly who the little bird is, we don't know, guys. But there's somebody talking. We know that. We know that much. And they've told about this whole operation. So that
daddy.
When I say people are going to jail, I mean people are going to jail. That's what I mean. And I can understand this family wanting everybody that's involved to get it. Wouldn't you? If somebody killed that many family members of yours, or they destroyed a lot of lives, so they get what they get.
Yes, Bama Cat. The suspect is dating one of the sisters.
Yeah, yes.
That's alive still.
Austin is dating Caitlin. Caitlin is Courtney Rose's sister. That is one of the victims.
Is that what we're talking about here? There has not been any information like that that's been made public or any talk of that, has there?
No, not that we've been made aware of. We just noticed whenever we talk about the location, it's about a 2-minute drive on Carrington Road. You actually split onto Carrington Road at the correctional facility. So nobody has brought that up, at least to my knowledge, if it has anything to do with an inmate or anything like that.
All right, Jeffrey Bullard, KFVS, thank you so much. I'm sure we're going to be on this story a lot, and we hope you can join us again. We appreciate it.
What happened to pepperoni?
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in our think tank. Joining us live in studio tonight, criminal defense attorney, former state attorney in Miami-Dade, former assistant DA in Atlanta, Daryl Cohen, criminal defense attorney, law professor Meg Strickler, and criminal defense attorney, the man behind the glasses, Josh Schiffer. This is a mystery. This is a mystery. I mean, we've got 2 significant events. They are connected. They are related. How and why, we don't know.
But remember, the baby was deposited randomly on someone's lawn. That we know.
It appears it's random.
It appears random. There appears to be no connection. And then there are 3 bodies of the baby's relatives.
No, there's definitely a connection between the baby being placed on the lawn and the unaliving of the people. There's definitely a connection. The question is, who placed this baby on the lawn? Now, if you ask me who placed this baby on the lawn, in my opinion, I would say Austin and Caitlin. Now, that's just my opinion. I have no proof of that. Okay. But I would say probably Caitlin placed this baby on the lawn. Now, I don't have any proof of that. That's just a theory of mine. That's just something that's ringing around in my head. that, you know, that there's no way this girl don't have anything to do with it. That's her
She's
boyfriend.
pregnant also.
She's pregnant with his baby, you know, allegedly. This is all allegedly.
She's definitely pregnant.
Well, I'm just still saying allegedly for lawsuit reasons. This is all alleged. This is all just my opinion, but I believe she has something to do with this also.
I immediately go to the murder-suicide family
That's what I
drama
thought,
that,
too.
that we see in domestic violence cases.
4 bodies because there's
This guy does not know what he's talking about.
Why is Court TV so behind on this?
Because this is a little tiny bit old, but
It's not. It's
they're
from outside.
experts. Listen, their experts are not the greatest psychics on YouTube like Dolly. They just listen.
Sure.
Everybody can't be a Dolly in this world. The guy with the red glasses is definitely not a Dolly. All right, I done nailed the last 2 cases down like it ain't nothing. Everybody can't be me. But if they need an expert, I know they consider Dolly a little controversial, right? I'm a little controversial, but I am the greatest to ever do it. Okay, the greatest there's ever been. They're scared. They're scared of Dolly's greatness. If they need an expert, they can call me. Now it's gonna cost them. I ain't cheap, right? I'm a expensive YouTube hoe. But if they need me,
A YouTube hoe?
yeah. If they need me, I mean, I can be bought. I can be bought, Vinny. I mean, you need a real expert that knows what the hell is going on and what they're talking about. Just, you know, hit up the Dolly line. Be like, hey, Dolly, I need you. You're the greatest to ever do it, the greatest to ever been. We need you on this case. And I'd be like, all right, Vinny, I got you. Okay, I got you. You my homeboy. We go way back. We go all the way back to OJ. Okay.
Carol says, what went on while Austin and Caitlin were on vacation that brought Austin to kill Caitlin's family? This is not
a 15-year-old uncle also.
Yes, 15-year-old uncle.
literally.
It's immediately where my mind goes is that someone associated with this.
But they're looking for a suspect or suspects.
Oh, they're still out there. They took the baby, dropped off the baby, and are on the road.
Oh, so it's not, you don't believe it's anyone that's at the house?
No,
It's like someone at the house could have dropped the baby off first and then.
There's the possibility that it would be the deposit the baby and then do the murder-suicide. But I think with what it appears to me, it would be go to commit the crime, take the baby, and then leave the baby somewhere ostensibly safe. I don't know how safe someone's front yard.
It's a very confusing.
Speculation. Too much speculation.
Yeah.
We need to know the
Well, someone
cause.
cared about the baby. Someone cared about the baby
Yes.
because if this is a murder, right? If this is homicide, murder, whatever happened there, if the baby stays,
They didn't care about the baby. They didn't care about the baby. Most likely, the reason he left this baby alive is he knows if he got caught and went back to prison, they don't take highly of killing babies. Okay, gangs have politics. Gang politics says you not to hurt children or babies. Okay, so if you're at an age that you're young enough not to be a witness, they don't unalive you. Okay, so he didn't want to go to prison. He knew he was going to get caught. He knew he was going to be wanted because he wasn't going to go to court for the attempted unaliving in the prison where he shanked somebody. And gang law states that you were not to unalive a baby, and if he goes to prison as a baby killer, he's a target. So it ain't that he cared about the baby. He cared about himself. He's a selfish piece of shit. That's why he did what he did and didn't hurt the baby.
Someone asked if you can explain what an enforcer is in the gang.
An enforcer in a gang is someone who enforces. Everybody in a gang is not somebody that goes out and hurts you because there's little tiny gang members, right? Right. They have certain people that are enforcers, just like a hockey team has the enforcer. So say you do something to one of the little guys in the gang, they send out certain people, or hitters is what they call them. And they're the people that will unalive you for messing with the gang. Not everybody in the gang everybody has a role, but everybody's not an enforcer or a killer. Okay. They may be drugged. They may be lookout. They may be somebody who moves things, a mule, but all of them have a job. And if you interfere with any of that, that's usually when they'll send their enforcers out to get you. Okay. Or a hitter. It all depends on what group of organization that you're messing with.
There in this remote area, they may never find the body for days and that baby will die. Even if the killer doesn't take the life of the baby will just die, right? So someone cared enough to get the baby out of there and put the baby in a place where the baby would be found.
I agree with Meg and Josh. I think this is self-inflicted, but
What do you mean self-inflicted?
I think someone self-inflicted murder on him or her, and then, but before that, murdered the other 3 people. But
So we're looking for a ghost right now.
well, right now,
Vinny,
Oh.
right? Vinny, yes, we're looking for a white one. He's super white. His name is
He
Austin.
does look a little pasty.
He looks a little pasty. He could be Casper. Okay, he could be Casper, but we're definitely not looking for a ghost. This was all drug and gang related. There's hierarchies, there's rules, there's regulations on the street. You know, Vinny's not a street guy, right?
Vinny done fell off after Karen Reed for me.
Vinny is, you know, he from Jersey. He's probably seen a lot, but he's not a street guy. Like there's I don't think Vinny's ever been locked up. He's never sat in a cell with gang members and stuff like that. I can tell you what, Vinny, I have. Okay, I have. I know the rules. I know I know jail politics. I know how all this shit operates. And that's why I am the greatest of all time, right? Because I've been there. You got to have experience in things in true crime, right? You got to be on both sides of the fence, right? You can't talk about jail unless you've been to jail. Now, prison, I don't know. I've never been to prison, all right? But prison operates a lot like jail, okay? I mean, a lot of people sit in jail for years now because most jails have been turned into correctional facilities.
Isn't prison sometimes better because you
Yeah.
have like rec time outside?
Yes.
And
Jail is harder time because you don't get to go outside. You can't get a job. There's no programs. There's none of that. Prison, you can go out inside. You can go out in the yard. You can get a job. You can do all these things that you can't
it's
do
like a whole nother
in
little
jail.
community you
So-
live in.
When you in jail, there's people that want to go to prison. Like if they already got their time, they're waiting for the prison bus to pick them up because they get more freedom and better foods. There's better canteen, like tablets and different things that you can get in prison that you really can't have in the jail. Jail sucks, and it's just as dangerous as prison. You know, there's been people stabbed. There's been people raped. I mean, all the bad things you can do have happened in the city jail here. There was kids and stuff that were actually assaulted in the jail. They locked up 2 16-year-olds. They were brutally beat almost to death, and the big R happened to them, right? So even the jails around here are bad, right? They're bad, and you got to be. It's not, our jails are not so much loaded with gangs in this area. But when I was locked up in Georgia, as soon as I hit the pod, as soon as I hit the Holden, it was all gang guys, all Bloods in Georgia and Savannah. It was loaded with Bloods. I knew instantly they threw me in a cell with a bunch of Bloods. I was like, okay, these are all blood dudes. But you know me, I tend to get, people tend not to hate me. I don't know. I'm a likable guy. And you know, instantly I strike up conversations with people, you know, ask them about their legal system and just, you know, quickly trying to fit in, right? To get in where you fit in. That's the thing. And, let people know, hey, you know, I've been here too. So they don't look at you like a fresh fish out of water, you know? So, yeah, jail sucks. That's the moral of that story.
we need to find out what the cause of death was. Once we know what the cause of death was, we can begin to speculate with a little more accuracy. Right now, we're PFA. We're picking from air, and we don't want to do that. But we do know we've got a healthy baby. We're fortunate. We do know there are 4 people deceased.
So where does the investigation go? Let's talk about that. So if you're looking for someone, you're looking for a motive, trying to figure this out, where are they going? Are they diving into the cell?
You were a crim? No. I used to be in a metal band, and I got in a big bar brawl, and I got locked up for a little while. And And then I was in Georgia and I grabbed that's live on YouTube. I grabbed a bullhorn from this lady that was screaming crazy shit at me. And I went to jail in Georgia. So that's when I was covering the Quentin Simon case. And I ended up in jail in Georgia over this crazy, crazy lady screaming at me with a bullhorn. And I snatched the bullhorn out of her hand and they charged me with assault for grabbing a bullhorn. I never touched a lady.
Charge you with battery.
Assault and battery, same thing.
No, it's not assault. It's a battery charge. It's different. It's
the same
thing, but it's
they charged me with disorderly conduct, right? But I never said nothing. I don't know how I was disorderly, but I just grabbed a bullhorn, and that's what ended me up in jail in Savannah. What ended me up in jail in Virginia.
You weren't even in there for a whole day.
Yeah, I was only in there a short time in Georgia. In Virginia, I got in a big ass bar brawl where the whole bar was fighting, and I got a pretty bad charge, but it was dropped down to assault. So I've had a few different assault charges, you know. Dolly got a temper. But far as like robbing, stealing, any drugs, anything like that, I've never been arrested for any of that stuff. So just acting a little crazy sometimes. I'm a little crazy, just a little bit, but I'm the good crazy, right?
The reason that they're not saying
Joyous, thank you.
How the victims were unalived or what the cause of death was is unsure at the moment, but we all know that there were bullet holes in every vehicle pretty much. And so we're assuming that they were shot. But,
in the vehicle.
That's
yeah.
what they just discussed in the clip. And someone in chat was like, come on, Minnie, we know they were shot. We don't. Technically, we know because, I mean, we've been sleuthing it and we've been putting pieces together, but none of the news have officially said.
Yeah, I think they were shot at that location. I don't think they were taken there.
Why do you think why do you think they're keeping that like, why usually they say that right off the bat? It's not like a secret.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's clear that they've been shot. I mean, with the bullet holes and you got so many people dead. And, I mean, it's clear they've been shot. I mean, his charges alone show you they've been shot. They charged him with, possession of a firearm by a felon. So that tells you right there, he shot him.
Yeah.
Right. How did they know he had a firearm? Right. So, because the people were shot.
Oh, and K says Austin was able to live it up because he was most likely a key holder / head guy for Vice Lords in his section and coordinated the contraband drops from the inside.
Yes.
That makes sense.
I agree with that.
How did he get that? Like, how do you get in at 16 and then you just like build your
because
way up
his buddy was able, Fatty Fox was dropping stuff into the prisons and he was dropping it for him. So he was able to get it, which gives him rank. Right. If you control the money or the drugs in jail, you're a powerful person.
Oh, and somebody asked who found the bodies. There is a post that was actually a news article where it states that somebody, and it's very shielded in how it's written. So they're not implicating anybody or they're not victim blaming, but it's alleged that people that are aware of this drop spot or location went there apparently to see if they may have been there, and they located the vehicles and bodies.
Yeah. So they knew these drop spots. Other people did. We ain't gonna get into who knew, but other people knew about these drop spots where they were going. And some of these spots were for them to do transactions with drugs. And some of these spots were for them to drone from into the prisons.
And that's why when they first originally said these people were found and they said in proximity to the prison, I knew that the two were connected some sort of way. And I kept asking everybody in the group where I was chatting with the people, like, why are they saying these two are connected? Why would they say, hey, they're found within this vicinity of this prison? And I looked at the map and it is like one street over, but I mean, it's not like it was in the backyard of the prison, but it definitely makes sense to the alleged rumors of the whole droning, because then that would make sense, because if they're right there by
Matthew had the ankle monitor, right?
I never confirmed that, and I didn't want to ask his dad that, but I saw that rumor.
It was either Matthew or the 15-year-old boy had the ankle monitor. I think it was Matthew. Yeah. So Matthew he wasn't doing great a little bit prior to this. He was young, wilding out a little bit, getting in trouble, and then he started to get his life together.
According to his mama, he had just gotten his life together,
Yeah.
got a good job at that steel company.
Got a job
with his daddy.
And had the kid. He was doing good. He was trying to get right, and he was doing a lot better. And then this transpired. Right? We gotta remember Matthew is a 21-year-old boy.
He just turned 21.
And young guys get a little wild, and they're not quite grown yet. Even though you're 21, people say, well, you legally an adult, right? Well, you may be legally adult, but being mentally, like your brain, you're not adult. Okay. And he was doing stupid stuff. But I guess he realized, hey, I need to tighten up. I need to do the right thing. He had his baby, and he tried to get on the right path. And then when he gets on the right path, something horrible like this happens to him. Now, we don't know why Matthew was there. Okay. We don't know why any of these people were there, but it seems like they were led there for a reason.
That they would be doing a drop in the middle of the day. They were found.
Yeah.
It was still daylight, I believe.
It was something he must have called them and said, hey, you need to get here. And I guarantee you he used Caitlin as bait to get everybody
that's why
there.
I believe Caitlin's being shielded so much as she is, because it's possible she knew where these drop sites were, and that she may have been the one to say, hey, let's go check here, or let's go check here. He might possibly be here. And therefore, she's probably in danger with what she does know.
Yeah, absolutely. She knows everything. Is she the one talking? We don't know. That's why when I seen other YouTubers out here giving out her address and where everybody's family lives and things like this, we're dealing with a gang of criminals. And when you're out here putting out addresses and things like that, you could get these people hurt.
When you look at the comments that are in these forums and these chat rooms and the stuff that I've been looking at, there's so many people that are like, free Austin. Y'all better not mess with my boy Austin. Random different people. There's at least 10 just from one comment section that I saw, all defending the guy, saying these victims were.
So he has friends.
Lots of them.
And here's the thing: when people give you a voice, it's almost like a superpower. With great powers come great responsibility, right? Because you could say something, and we know right now there's 2,300 people in the room with us right now. We don't know who these 2,300 people are. Some of these people could be Austin's friends. Some of these people could be Austin, right? It could be people that are in that gang. And, they may not know where these people are at, or where they're hiding at, or where they're staying at. And then you up here, basically showing a map, pinpointing their locations of where the whole family lives. I don't think that's very wise when we don't know everybody that's involved yet. So people in the beginning thought it was just Austin. Now we know it ain't just Austin. It's Austin. It's Tanaka. It's damn Giovanni. It's damn Fatty Fox, the God, right? There's all these people involved. But some of these channels that have done this, they've done even worse than this in previous things. And true crime really gets a bad rap when everybody is not bad. It's just certain people out here that really don't care about life. They care about clicks and views. Now, listen, I believe the girl may have something to do with it, but I'm not going to tell you where the girl's at so you could go hurt her, because what if I am absolutely wrong, right? And next thing you know, I'm giving information that puts this girl's life in danger, and all I had to do is not say it. Do I know where they're at? Yeah, I know where they're at. Do I know where everybody's family lives at? Yeah, I know where everybody's family lives. But do we, as YouTube creators, do we have to share? Do we have to dox these people out to people we don't know who's watching? When, the last video, last night did 30,000 plays. That's a lot of people watching, right? We don't know if all them people are good people with good intentions. There could be bad people with bad intentions. And, so many people are saying, well, this girl's done something. This girl's done something. Even I think she may have done something, But what if we're wrong? And then somebody goes and hurts this girl or does something terrible to her family, or that one family tries to hurt the other family because they believe some of these things that are being said. It's a slippery slope that you play on. But like I said, some of these people have been showing kids dead bodies, worried about little boys' private parts, and just disgusting ass human beings. So I wouldn't expect nothing less from them than to dox out people that are involved in an active investigation. You know, if that's what they need to do to bring views to their channel, more power to them. But to me, you're just a scumbag when you do things like that. And as viewers, y'all need to tell creators, hey, look, you're going a little too far with this. You need to take these people addresses and their personal information down before you get somebody hurt. This is real life. Like, people act like this ain't real. This is a real family, right? Matthew's dad's real. His mama's real. His siblings are real. Even these people that their family was involved, they're real people. They got loved ones. They got people that care about them. You know, you can't do some of the things that are being done, and people just don't seem to care. And there's selective outrage in the true crime community. Like, when certain people do certain things, oh my God, I can't believe they did it. And then there's people that do things and people don't even get upset with, right? Oh, it's okay, because they're fake and they're not real people. And they act like they're all, oh God, and then they'll pray with you and shit, right? That to me is the first warning sign that you ain't a real legit person, right? When your hair is fake, your makeup's fake, you're just fake. Okay. When everything about you, your name and everything, it's just everything about you is 100% fake. There's certain people that just do not need to be in this sector of YouTube. And I don't want to go on a big rant and bitching, but it's just true. So 3 people arrested. Austin's still on the run. We're looking at everything for any clues that may lead us to anything to do with him, where he may be, any sightings. We're staying on top of everything that's posted by, you know, we spy on people. Okay. We spy on your posts, your comments, who you're connected to. We start screenshotting quick because a lot of these people like to take their stuff down, like Caitlin. But we want to know who Caitlin's friends are before Caitlin takes her post and her Facebook and everything down. So we get on top of that real fast so we know who to look at, because usually people you affiliated with are going to be in your friends list. And then you just start going through and checking out and, you know, and watching people and seeing what they're talking about, what they're doing. And some of these people will lead you to other people. And I can't tell you all our strategy we use to sleuth information, but we try to stay on top of it, is the more of the story.
Okay, see,
Cell phones.
Caruthersville Police Department. This is, I believe, the Missouri location. And of course, at the very top of the update for the Austin Drummer sighting, we want to clear up some confusion regarding recent reports about Austin Drummond. There have been no confirmed sightings of him in Cartersville area. That's what Caruthersville, I'm sorry.
Caruthersville in Missouri.
What we've received are a few calls suggesting he might be in the area, but nothing has been verified at this time. So that's just from earlier when someone said.
Yeah, who's going to give them up is them people that are in jail.
Right.
One of them people are going to snitch, is my belief, right? And you know, it's usually the people that are screaming, you're a narc or you're a rat. They're usually the ones talking. Like Fatty Fox, the God. And I wouldn't want him knowing dirt.
I mean, I also think that Caitlin possibly may have all the know and that they're shielding her the way they are for that reason. So, she doesn't,
yeah, they may need her information.
I believe they do. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, you and I have been dating almost 3 years. There's no way that you would be doing this type of operation behind my back that I wouldn't know about, period. No, there's no way.
Well, I do got a drone.
I don't care.
I'm kidding. My drone ain't that big. It wouldn't drop nothing anyway.
I mean, if you were out there doing whatever with it, I would know. I mean, you're not out like randomly droning around that I don't really know about it.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I usually I'm live when I'm droning on YouTube, right? We're looking for missing people and things like that. So I don't know. I believe that if you got this many people, there's more people involved in the drug operation, the ring of people that are involved. And from the very beginning, I had got that vibe that this was gang related, because in the beginning, I thought one of those cars was a stolen vehicle. And I was thinking, well, that's kind of what gangs do. They steal a vehicle, they commit a crime, they dump the vehicle. But I was thinking, well, usually they'll burn the vehicle. You know, I remember I was walking down the street one night and I was walking by elementary school, and there was a car sitting in the parking lot, and it was flames were shooting from it like 20 feet. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And what it was that car was involved in some type of crime. And this is pre-cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone. So there was no way for me to call like 911 or anything. And I'm walking, and it's the middle of the night, and I'm walking back from my friend's house. And behind the school was a car, just a blaze, like flame shooting way up. And then, of course, I go back to the house, and then I call. But time I call, I can hear the fire trucks. So the next day on the local news, it was the car was stolen. It was involved in a crime. I can't remember what kind of crime it was involved in. Some type of robbery or something. But they dropped the car behind the school and torched it. Because usually when you burn these vehicles, it gets evidence off the vehicle, fingerprints, if you ain't got time to wipe it down or something like that. And this is real common in drug stuff. I mean, in gang stuff is they'll steal a car, they'll commit a drive-by, and then they'll burn the car. So when I seen all the extra cars, I was thinking, okay, somebody has dumped the vehicle here. This is gang stuff, right? And then when you hear that 4 people are dead and it's near a prison, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, this has something to do with gangs. Now we know that is the case, right? But the vehicles were theirs. There wasn't any vehicle that was stolen, right? All the vehicles were accounted for, even down to the rental vehicle. That wasn't even stolen. So there's no stolen cars involved, but still similar in crime to where you go, okay, this is gang related. And you can see I was right about that. It's just, it's odd. It's really odd for something like that to occur and there be extra vehicles or vehicles missing, and more than, you got one guy accused, but you got the truck missing, his car missing, the rental car missing, right? So we know now 3 vehicles were missing, but we only got one to sell it. That's not possible. There's other people involved, and there's people involved maybe right after, but I think there's people that knew this was going to take place before it happened.
Definitely looking at the cell phones, all
They've
the
got to be
messages.
talking to other relatives
Yes.
to see if there's anything going on.
And the cameras. They're going to look at the video surveillance of whatever they can find
Yeah, I
for
don't
video
know how many
surveillance to give you a
cameras
timeline of what they can see. Because there will be
Okay.
some video somewhere within that.
ARS 312 says, Dolly, the Audi is owned by Audrey Cole. Do you know who she is at all? Do we know anything about Audrey Cole?
I saw that that's what was stated based on them running the license plates of the car. I didn't pay much attention to it. Clearly, it's not something that he owned personally. I don't know if maybe the plates were stolen or if it was a relative of his. I didn't really find any.
Okay.
I didn't find it relevant or necessary to look into that.
ARS, we will look into that. Okay. We'll figure that out for you. We'll let you know in the next video who this person is and how she's connected to Austin Drummond.
Last known contact with the victims.
And it's things like the highway videos.
Yes.
You see these flock cameras and cameras
Yes.
scanning license plates. they create these giant databases so they can say, oh, here's a relative's car that was moving in this direction. And Daryl's right, the investigation is going to show us. From what I heard from the report was that it was kind of a big crime scene. That makes me immediately think of a case that I worked on where there was an attack with some chasing going on. And it wasn't walking into a room with all 3 victims. It was a seek and find, which makes things look really messy. And then what if a baby wasn't supposed to be there and is? You don't want to be with a baby on the run. I've seen raising there.
But by now, the police could have seized his Facebook with warrants.
It's not gone. It's just half the pictures are gone and the option to follow is gone. And just some of the security settings are changed.
Yeah, but that could be done by the police. We heard Fatty the God say that they took his
shut down his Facebook. Yes, that's usually what they do. If it's something that's being investigated, they completely shut it off. I've not seen anything.
No, they took it because he had to show his ID to get it back.
Right, they shut it off. It wasn't active. Like it was gone. You couldn't search it. You couldn't find it.
So you can believe that the feds will tap right into that Facebook.
Arizona, that is not the way that you really want to go escape having committed
but
a
this
crime.
was like cold-blooded assassin type person. Everyone would be dead. The baby would still be there. The baby would likely be dead. The bodies wouldn't be found for days. The only reason they found the bodies so quickly was because they found the baby.
Yeah.
Like from the baby, they were looking for 3 adults. They were looking for mom, dad, and grandma. So how do you think they figured that out in 2 hours?
But maybe that's
By the
what
way,
the issue is they're trying to figure out the baby. I apologize.
No,
Harold.
I was going to say there may very well be video. If the person who committed the murder, he or she may very well have used his or her camera on his or her phone to video this. We don't know. What we do know is we've got a live baby and 4 victims.
Right, but we also have 2, it seems it's 2 hours between
Absolutely
the discovery of the baby and then putting the word out that we're looking for these 3 adults. Like, how do police figure out that the baby's connected to those 3 adults?
But
We're talking about 40 miles away.
But maybe there was somebody who saw it, heard it, something like this, and then did not want to get involved.
Saw or heard what?
Gosh knows what happened. We don't know what happened. But maybe they saw it, heard it, were involved with it in some which way, I don't know. But maybe that's who they're looking for, is the person that delivered the baby.
And there may very well have been something attached to the baby or in the baby's crib that said that.
Bingo, Angela. They found him because of their cell phones. When they found his baby, that's when the urgency went out. That's when they started issuing warrants for the cell phones. That's when they were able to ping what they were close to. They found everything. All this information, a lot of this information is coming from data on their cell phones. Okay. They ping all of them, put all of them in a proximity, and boom, you got a location. We learned in a lot of these cases, even from Karen Reed, they can pinpoint you down to what, 10 feet from where you're actually standing. So, I mean, they can find you pretty easily these days. Your phone is a tracking device. They watch, Big Brother watches everything you do. And I believe that's how they were able to be found, is through phone. And somebody else knows this whole operation that wasn't there.
Several people know it. I mean, now that we're finding out, Fatty Fox knew the operation. So, I mean, how many people are really involved? And at this point, when you've got too many people in the pot, I mean, it's starting to be a hot operation in my opinion.
Too many chefs in the kitchen, and one of them chefs are talking.
her name is X.
Yeah.
We just
But
don't know.
it was mom, dad, and grandma specifically they were looking for, right? 40 miles away, 40 minutes away, in the middle of nowhere, right?
And we don't know what connection they have to this land necessarily. Is this a random piece of land, or is this someplace that they're known to frequent, inhabit, live? There's a lot of investigation that's going to come out. It is quickly putting together the dots, though. That 40 miles and a baby without a name, it's pretty tough to identify a baby. They don't answer questions very easily.
They don't. No. One more fly in the ointment. We know it's near a penal institution. Is that for misdemeanors? Is it for felonies? Has there been an escape? Do we know?
If there was an escape, they would have to tell us, right? They have to make that public, wouldn't they?
At some point.
They would have locked down that facility in the first moment they found out about a murder 2 minutes away. that facility gets the red button and it's
So you're
on
taking that
lockdown.
off the table, but you're thinking you're not taking it off the table.
Well, you can believe that facility's on lockdown right now anyway, right? That every facility they believe that these people have dropped with drones into is on lockdown. The FBI are investigating these facilities. You can believe they're investigating the guards that are at this facility because we already know they have corruption at these facilities. We've seen that from his page, right? We've seen him with Chirac. We've seen him with video games. We've seen him with street clothes. We've seen him, all these things that he had in his cell, regular food, street food, and all these things that he had right there accessible to him. Listen, and he was in maximum security. He wasn't in minimum security where hardly anybody watches you. He was in supermax in the prison, and he was still able to get all this stuff in there. And you know why that is? Because not only was his girlfriend guard a bad guard, but there's other bad guards at this prison. And you can believe that them prisons are locked down. They're going to be shooken down. You're going to have the U.S. Marshals and the FBI involved with not only this, but with the prisons and shaking down gang members inside the prison, because this is connected from the street to the prison, right? The gang is the same. There's some of them on the inside and some of them on the outside, but they're communicating through these cell phones instead of having to use this is why these cell phones are so bad in the prison system and contraband, is because we cannot track any of the movement of these people. If they were using the jail phones to put this and like talking in code, we'll figure out your code. We'll figure out what you're doing, but they're not. They're using burner phones right there in the prison that are being dropped over the fence and overlooked by the correctional facility. These correctional facilities are supposed to shake down these cells, and apparently they're not doing that.
Right, every day they should have like a lock down your stuff and let me check all of everything in every dorm room.
Well, they do an inspection, like even in jail. They'll come through every day to make sure your bunk is made. They don't shake you down every day. There was a time when I was in the Chesapeake jail, and there was a handcuff key that got lost. Okay, and they were determined to find this handcuff key, so they came in and shook the whole cell down. They come in like SWAT. They tell everybody to come out into the foyer area of the jail for out of your pods into the open space. Then they take you into the gym and they strip search you butt naked. I remember it was wintertime and it was cold. It was in February, and the gym has it's indoor, but they have a big metal bars so the breeze from the outside can blow in. So it was probably 3 degrees inside the gym, and they bring 120 people out the pod one by one, take off your clothes, squat, cough, the whole 9, right? They tear the cells apart, and you got to go back and you got to clean up your cell. So we do that. But everybody starts cleaning up, putting the stuff back. 2 hours later, they hit the cells again. Right, 2 hours later, and they start searching it. Then the deputy comes into the cell and says, look, if anybody has this handcuff key, right, and they give it up now, right, you ain't going to escape, but if you give it up now, we will give you $250 on your canteen, and we'll walk you down to the vending machines and let you get anything you want out the vending machines. So they were so worried about this handcuff key that went missing that they were willing to pay you $250, take you out the cell, let you go get you some sodas and some real chips, because everything's bootleg inside the pod, right? So they were letting you get some real thing. They would take you to they have a kitchen for the staff, right? They have your regular jail food, but then they feed the guards, so they have real food. And they would take you, get some real food, take you to the vending machines, give you $250 on your books. And believe it or not, the cop that lost it, when he went to get out of his car,
It wasn't his car.
the little handle you pull up on your seat, it had hooked onto it and snatched it off his belt. And he found the key in his car. But they were shaking the whole jail down every day looking for that key. So it happens. And and they're supposed to do it randomly, and they bring in dogs to look for drugs and stuff like that, and they bring in the mirrors and the searching. They don't do that all the time, but they'll do it maybe once a month or sometimes less than that,
I mean,
depending.
if stuff comes up though, don't they do it often? Like if
Yeah,
something gets lost,
yeah. If somebody
somebody
tips somebody off, like say somebody goes and rats on you, and that's usually what happens in jail. People tell on you. You can't get away with nothing because everybody's telling, because people are jealous of everybody. If you got something, like, they tell on you. So if you walk out the pod like for some random reason, and like there's no reason for you to leave, and then you come all back, and next thing you know, people run up in the cell and start busting people, they know you told. They have ways of knowing. And believe it or not, some people are friends with the deputies, and the deputies will tell on people like he's talking. And then you have that situation. But if somebody snitches, then yes, they'll run up and bust it. Like when I worked in the kitchen in the jail, there were some people in there making some wine, and this one dude told. Okay, and here's the thing: when you tell, oh, you are enemy number one to the whole jail. I mean, everybody is mad, right? Even if it didn't affect them, they know you're a snitch. That means they know they can't get away with nothing around you. So this dude told on a bunch of people I knew in the kitchen. And the thing about the kitchen is, if you get in trouble in the kitchen, all they do is send you back upstairs. The kitchen is to make your time kind of go by faster. You get a job in the jail, they pay you, and you get to eat good because you work in the kitchen, right? And so I was the baker in the kitchen. I made rolls and cookies and jail bread. But the people were making wine in the kitchen, and they were hiding it in the ceiling, right? And here comes some guards come in, right? And there was one dude they knew told. Everybody knew he told because everybody was close but him. And in the kitchen, usually everybody in the kitchen is going to be on the same page, right? And the dude ratted them out, and they knocked off like 8 people in the kitchen, right? Which is a good portion of the kitchen. Me, I don't drink wine. There ain't no reason for me to be making wine. I don't drink wine. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't getting no trouble. I'm just sitting there watching everybody get knocked off. But all they do is take you back upstairs. You just can't have a job, and you get knocked off trustee. So you don't get to eat good. You don't get to live good. Please subscribe to PJ22, the producer for Dolly. She has a great channel. Just watch every morning. Plus, she gets the information for Dolly Vision. That is absolutely true.
Thank you.
She's, as I'm telling my story, she's over here sleuthing information now. So when they got back, right now, there's deputies that ain't on the up and up either. Right. There's some deputies that are just cool with inmates. They're just friends. They might be friends on the outside, or they know somebody in common. And we had this deputy that would sleep the whole time. Right. So the TV never went off at night, and everybody loved him because the TV never went off, because he'd go in there and go to sleep. So usually at like 11, lights out, TV cuts off, everything shuts down. But this guard would just go in his guard shack and go to sleep. And the inmates ran to jail. People out there drinking, watching TV, eating pizza and shit, right? And it ain't like being upstairs where you're locked down and everything's going good. Everybody's living a better life like that. And somebody told on the guard, right? Somebody told on the guard. And when they did, everybody in the pod wrote that person out the pod. Like, you can write somebody out, like, because all you had to do is say, hey, if this person don't leave, we about to get in a fight. And if 3 or more people agree that you need to leave, they write you out the pod. So when the dude told on the deputy, they wrote him out the pod, and the dude threw up a big fuss about leaving. He's like, it's not fair. And he admitted he told. He said, I tell on this dude because my life's in danger, and he's in there sleeping. And everybody, all the inmates wrote him out the pod. Right? Because you don't tell on the deputies that are making your life easier, right? You're able to get what they call contraband, but in through the facility. And the only people that in where I'm at, I can't speak for everywhere. The only people that can spread contraband through the facility are trustees. Okay. And the way you get paid, everything in jail works off of coffee. All right. So they got these packs of coffee, and on the canteen, they're like $1. So every time you do something, it costs somebody a coffee. All right. Even though I didn't drink coffee in jail, where am I going? I need any energy for, right? But say you go to a cell, because the people can't get out their cells, and they got a letter and they want to give it to somebody in another cell. Well, it costs a pack of coffee for me to hand that letter to the person in the next cell. Okay, because you can't do it. So then when you get to that cell and you hand them the letter and they want to reply back to the person in that cell, they got to give you a coffee. Okay. Now you have stacks of coffee and you take them coffees. It's just like currency. It works like money. Then you take them and trade them for, say you want some headphones, or you want honey buns, or you want whatever, you know, their food, or whatever you want to trade your coffee for. Maybe you want the TV. I used to buy the TV a lot with coffee. Okay. So especially when I was upstairs, because everybody's broke. And if you got some money on your books, you buy a bunch of coffee. So even if they don't want the coffee, they use the coffee as currency. So I would go to each, okay, there was like 25 cells, and each cell each day had the TV. Okay. So your cell only got the TV like once a month. So you could pick what you want to watch on TV. So what I would do was I would buy a ton of coffee, right? The packs of coffee. And then usually after canteen, people drink up their coffee quick. So they're always out of coffee. And then I'd go to each pod each day and buy the TV. Okay. So I go in there and be like, whoever is their pod boss, because each little cell has their own little boss. And you'd be like, hey, I give you 3 packs of coffee, which is like $3, $3 to $5, right? For the TV today. Because I used to like to watch the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter. So I would want to see my shows. So I would just go around and buy the TV. But I did it so much when I was upstairs that they done forgot whose day it was on the TV. And people would come to me and be like, Jimmy, hey, can we watch this? I then took control of the TV with coffee, right? I just pretty much had to. And then the other TV's on lock, which lock means you can't change the channel. It's always sports. It's Sports Center, right? Always on lock. There's 2 TVs, one over here and one over here. And this TV's always on lock. So you can't control that TV. That TV's always Sports Center. Basketball, football, always on. But the one TV where you could actually watch TV that's how I control the TV, is I would buy it with coffee. So say they're dropping things into the prison. That's the same as currency, right? It's the same as currency. It's money. This is what when you seen his cell, when you seen Austin's cell, and he had all them oodles and noodles and he had all these packs of things, that's just like having stacks of money, right? Because everybody in jail can be bought. Everybody. To the toughest thug dude, everybody always needs something, and money is the key. So if you got money, right, you can get all the protection you want. You can get all the food you want. You can damn control the TV. You have these options. And so when I seen his cell, he was a powerful dude in the jail. Helena, thank you. Helena, did she hit the pick 6?
She might have.
Thank you, Helena. Big virtual hugs to you. But yeah, this dude in the jail was pretty much could probably do whatever he wanted to do.
Make sure y'all tell her thank you if you got a membership.
Yes, definitely thank Helena for your memberships if you got them. Okay.
I'm not taking anything off the table yet.
Until we hear.
Yeah.
Smart.
Until we hear.
It's too much speculation right now.
To me, the timing, I still don't know how you go from baby to we know who the baby belongs to that quickly.
That's a big jump.
I don't think so. I think
It would be a big jump if
left.
they're next door neighbors, like the neighbor.
Yes, there was already an APB out for him because we heard the 911 call. Yeah, the night before. So they already knew who was missing. We're talking a rural area where a lot of people don't go missing, right? Like if you was this area, people go missing all the time. It'd be a little bit more trickier.
Well,
But
plus they posted it on social media, and so the people that were missing their family members were
on the
And then
lookout.
they've probably seen the baby and was like, "Oh my God, there's the baby." So
Yeah.
I think there was
something with
some
the baby,
forensic
like you said.
evidence left with
Yes.
that baby identifying that child.
Yep.
That's why your mom put that sticker on all your clothes.
Precisely.
That's how it works.
I don't know.
I'm chipped.
That's your.
Do you
kid's
think the
chip.
killer knew
17
that by
pounds
leaving the
is
baby there, that they were going to find the bodies quicker?
There's probably, like, I think Dow has said, like a note was there or some sort of indication with the baby that made them be able to leap very quickly.
And really, are you going to try to ascribe?
There was no note with the baby, lady. Okay, we know that now. At the time, they didn't know. Court, to give them the benefit of the doubt, they didn't know what was going on at the time. This ain't like today, so they didn't have no clue. But no, there was no note left with the baby. What they did see was what appeared to be a white-colored SUV, and we know that there was a white car removed from those premises, and
they actually said that they didn't know if the baby
in a
came out
dark
of
color
the
sedan.
dark color sedan or the
Yeah.
white SUV. But it's coincidental that both of the vehicles were being pulled
Yeah,
out
and
of the
once they
spot.
found that baby, they thought there was something foul play going on, and that's probably when they issued warrants to get the information on their cell phones. And then, like, what did it take them 3 hours? So within 3 hours, they knew the location. That's either somebody talking or they're going off pings off your cell phone. And it takes a minute or two to get these
Or like
warrants and this information from cell phone providers.
Or like
So-
the thing said on that one news report that the person that may know where the drops were went there and called it in, because that's
Yeah, that's possible too.
Logic to someone who part of their day involved depositing a baby on a lawn. They're not necessarily.
No, but
using
there is some
logical-
logic here because that person took the time to remove the baby from a scene where the baby would have died.
It may not be logic, it may be love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude
There's
didn't love that baby.
It doesn't seem like sometimes we've seen cases like this, the parents are split. It seems like mom and dad were together living with grandma and the uncle who's only 15 years old. But so it doesn't seem like that necessarily is a part of this. I'm thinking of the Pike County case where it was, that's what it was all about. It was all about the kids in custody, and it was family feud. It was the destruction of an entire family in that case.
But they're so young.
This is a really young family.
And it's impossible to speculate as to what somebody's burden is.
Should
on
the
any
public
one
be
thing.
scared tonight? The folks
No.
who live in the
No.
area?
Absolutely no.
You know
Not
this
at
is
all.
directed.
Yeah.
This
This
is
is
directed.
very specific.
Yes.
I think it's
Not a madman.
No.
maybe madman or
Yeah,
mad
true.
person,
But it's
not,
directly related to his
anything
family.
to do with the public.
Not a
as it is
serial killer,
directed.
not a
No.
random
No.
killer.
No, not at all.
And I bet you the social media of all of those individuals will give some information that'll be very useful. I don't know what it
Yeah, that's true. It was social media. If you would have looked, he was connected on most of their social medias, and he's still on the run. He's still on the loose, and as more information comes out, we're going to stay on it. There's been the third arrest in connection, unrelated charges to Austin Drummond, but still in connection with Austin. We have our third person in custody.
I sent you the picture of Caitlin and Austin without the baby in it, because people are still asking questions about Caitlin and whether or not she really was pregnant or if she was really with him, and I don't know. It's up to you if you want to show it, but I sent it.
I'll
just in
show it.
case.
I'll show it. I mean, it appears she's pregnant, and a lot
She's
of people
definitely
are.
pregnant. That was a pregnancy photo shoot.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
not- yeah, see, that's and I cut the tops a little bit so you can't see like the trees behind her, but that was like a maternity photo shoot before she erased everything.
2 likes, Dolly. Thank you. She's 4 months pregnant.
I
It's
think
been
it's more than
said.
that.
Yeah, maybe a little more than that.
So
So she's about to give birth to Damien, right? The devil's kid. Holy cow, right? Holy cow. Don't be like Big Daddy. Just say no to selling hugs. Absolutely. Don't be droning over prisons. That's a lesson we learned here today. And don't swear on your soul and your mama and your daddy and Jesus, because now you're sitting behind bars with no bond for conspiracy to conspire to violate the U.S. Drug Act. They were going to lock them people up for anything they could, right? And they're trying to take away his help.
That's why they're locking up all his homeboys.
Yeah, that's why they're locking up all his homeboys, is because they're trying to, make sure he don't have any help. So when they get him trapped, he ain't got nobody to call to come pick him up or give him a ride or hide him out, because they're putting that much heat on everybody that knows him. And I'm sure they're going to continue to do this until he's caught and he's captured. But we're going to stay on top of it. And if anything breaks, make sure you sub up, right? So because if I go live, it's usually something going on in the case.
I love this. I just joined the private group for this case that I hadn't seen because it was private, and it's hard to look this case up when you're looking for like groups or forums. And it's hosted, I guess, by, I'm gonna say just True Crime Lullabies, but they were looking for, as the group got bigger, some admins, and I had said I'm the girlfriend of the channel YouTube Dolly Vision. I do a lot of true crime. And then I said, I was really interested in this case if you need any help. She says, I can definitely make you an admin, and I love Turtle Island.
And she loves Turtle Island. Okay. All right. Turtle Island's
I had
a hit.
to throw that in there. Yeah.
Right. Turtle Island's a hit. So we try to stay with everybody that's talking, groups, rumors, and believe it or not, sometimes there's a lot of truth in rumors, or it leads you down a path where you can find the truth. And so we try to stay on top of everything. So that's why I say, if you want to keep up with this case, definitely, and you're watching out there, sub up the channel, ring the bell for notifications so you know when we go live. And we're going to be on top of this until he's in custody, and then until there's some results in this case, right? But I believe it's coming soon. I don't think this is going to be a long, drawn-out situation.
I hope so.
Do you hope so? It's long and drawn out?
No. It's coming soon.
I think it's coming soon, too. I don't think we're dealing with the smartest crooks in the world. And the answers will come quicker than later. And let's just pray that the Tennessee, they do a good job on this, and we get some answers for this baby, and we get some of these bad people off the street. And hopefully they find something on Caitlin, or like it's possible they're using Caitlin, but we don't know, right? That's just speculation, but I don't trust them. I don't trust this whole relationship thing. Not at all. All right, guys, y'all be good. Stay safe. And remember, sub up so when we go live, because there's some things we know that we can't say yet. And as soon as we can say those things, we'll be putting some stuff out. And also whatever breaks we'll have for you guys in this case. This isn't love, Caitlin. Definitely not, right? She has to know now that her baby daddy, she'll never see again. Okay? She will never see this man again. If she does, it'll be behind. They probably won't let her see him because of the charges and stuff like that.
Well, if the rumors are that she got married to him a couple of days ago, that's another thing that could be a wrench in the mix.
Yeah.
Because then she won't have to testify. But
and some states have conjugals.
Right. That too. So we'll have to see what all comes of it. I don't know what her status is, and I'm kind of really hesitant to say much on her.
Yeah, I don't trust her. I know that.
Of course. But I mean, I also don't want to out her right this moment, because it seems as though she's being shielded for some reason.
Yeah.
Whether it's she's helping to lead.
May need her. May not. Okay.
So, yeah.
So only time will tell. I'll see you guys in a little while. Y'all be good. Stay safe. Dolly loves you. Peace.